She'll crave your attention the moment you stop giving it to her. And no, this isn't a game. It's psychology. Most men think that giving a woman more of themselves, more texts, more compliments, more time, will make her like them more. But here's the hard truth. The more available you are, the less valuable you become. In fact, the very thing you think will bring her closer is often what pushes her away. Let's get real. We live in a time where men are being trained to chase validation, to seek approval, to constantly check in and prove their worth. And what happens? Women lose interest. Fast. But there's something powerful, even dangerous, about a man who knows how to disappear. When you ignore a woman strategically, it activates a psychological response she can't easily control. It triggers uncertainty, curiosity, and even obsession. Why? Because the human brain is wired to want what it can't have, and women, especially the ones who are used to being chased, are no different. You see, when a woman suddenly feels ignored, her mind starts racing with questions. Why isn't he texting? Did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest? This uncertainty creates emotional tension, and emotional tension is what creates attraction. Ignoring isn't about being rude or cold. It's about reclaiming your power as a man. It's about breaking the pattern of always being the one who gives more. It's a mindset shift that puts you back in control of your emotions and hers. In this video, I'm going to teach you how ignoring a woman, when done correctly, doesn't push her away. It pulls her in. We're diving into the dark psychological truths that most men will never understand. The very truths that, when applied, make you unforgettable. So if you're tired of feeling like you're the only one investing, chasing, or caring, this is the video you never knew you needed. 1. Attention is her drug. Cut it off. Attention is the most addictive thing you can ever give a woman. More than gifts, more than compliments, more than money. Attention feeds her ego, her emotions, and her sense of control. Every time you respond instantly to her texts, every time you watch her stories the second she posts them, every time you show that you're always there, you're giving her a hit of validation. Like a drug. The problem: the more you give it, the less she values it. Most guys make the mistake of flooding a woman with attention, thinking it shows care, loyalty, or interest. But to her, it feels too easy. It tells her she already has you. No tension, no chase, no mystery. But here's the twist. The moment you take that attention away, everything changes. Your silence becomes louder than words. Your absence becomes more noticeable than your presence. Suddenly, she starts asking questions. She starts wondering, overthinking, replaying conversations. And that's when the shift happens. A woman addicted to your attention doesn't notice it until it's gone. Just like a drug, she doesn't appreciate it while it's flowing. She craves it when it's cut off. Now, this doesn't mean ghost her or disappear forever. It means stop feeding her ego for free. Be intentional with your presence. Let her miss you, because the less she hears from you, the more she feels you. Real-world example. Mark was texting this girl non-stop. She replied, but always slow, dry, bare minimum. He felt her pulling away, so he did something different. He went silent for 2 days. No texts, no views, no likes. On the 3rd day she messaged, "Hey, are you okay? You disappeared." Boom, shifted the power. She noticed his absence more than she ever appreciated his presence. Ignoring her isn't cruelty, it's clarity. It's showing her that your attention is earned, not handed out like candy. And when she realizes she's no longer the center of your attention, that's when she starts chasing it. 2. The more you chase, the more she runs. Chasing a woman is the fastest way to lose her. Now that might sound strange, because we've been taught that if you like her, you should pursue her. Be consistent. Be available. Be persistent. But here's the cold truth. Chasing doesn't create attraction. It kills it. Why? Because when you chase her, you're sending a loud message. You're above me. I need to prove myself to you. And the moment she feels she's the prize, and you're just another guy trying to win her, she starts pulling back, not always intentionally, but psychologically. It becomes too easy, too predictable, too safe. Women want emotional stimulation. They want to wonder what you're thinking. They want to feel uncertainty, not because they enjoy pain, but because tension creates desire. And when you're constantly chasing, texting first, planning everything, always initiating, there's no tension, there's no mystery, there's no challenge. She knows she has you, and when a woman knows that, she stops feeling the need to invest. So what's the better move? Pull back. Let her come to you. Match her effort. Don't exceed it. Because when a woman sees that you're not desperate, that you're not trying to win her, she starts wondering why. That curiosity, it's fuel. It makes her look at you differently. 1. Real-world example. James met a girl at a party. They hit it off, exchanged numbers. He texted her every day. Good morning, good night, funny memes, long messages. At first, she replied. Then replies slowed. Then, nothing. So James stopped. No more messages. 3 days later, she texted, You're quiet lately. Forgot about me already? That's the game. The minute he stopped chasing, she started thinking about him. Chasing shows that you're trying to earn her. Ignoring or pulling back shows that you already know your worth. And women respect the man who respects himself more than he tries to impress her. The moment you stop running after her, she starts looking for you. 3. Ignoring triggers. Her ego. Let's get one thing straight. Most modern women are used to being chased. They're used to men double texting, liking every post, and doing the most just to get their attention. So when a man comes along and doesn't play that game, it shakes her ego. Why? Because deep down, whether she admits it or not, she expects your validation. She expects you to care too much, to try too hard, to show that you're like the rest, another predictable guy who can't resist her looks or her charm. But when you ignore her, when you don't feed her the attention she's used to, it causes friction, mental friction, emotional tension, ego disruption. She starts asking questions. Why isn't he reacting? Does he not find me attractive? Is he not interested or just playing smart? Wait, is he better than me? That confusion, that emotional discomfort, it doesn't make her hate you. It makes her focus on you. Because now, you're not reacting the way she expected. You're not dancing for her approval. You're not easy to figure out. And that makes you stand out from the crowd instantly. Most men play the approval game. They give compliments too soon. They say good morning every single day. They respond instantly. They become predictable, passive, and powerless. But ignoring, when done right, flips the script. It tells her, I'm not impressed by you. You're going to have to impress me. And that's a shock to her system. It's like removing the mirror she uses to admire herself, and suddenly she needs it back. Because here's the truth most men miss. You're not just ignoring her, you're ignoring her ego. And the ego hates being ignored. It craves attention. It thrives on control. Take that away, and she'll start doing whatever it takes to get it back. She might post more on social media. She might subtly reach out. She might even try to provoke you just to get a reaction. Why? Because your silence makes her feel unimportant. And no woman wants to feel replaceable, especially by a man who was supposed to be chasing her. 4. Silence makes you mysterious men. Here's the truth nobody told you. You talk too much. You explain too much. You reveal too much. You're constantly trying to prove that you're different, loyal, or worthy. And in doing so, you kill the one thing that drives a woman's curiosity: mystery. Let me be blunt. Too many men destroy their own value by being an open book. She knows where you are, what you're doing, how you feel, and what you want from her, all in the first few days. There's no tension, no suspense, no challenge, and you wonder why she loses interest? Silence, on the other hand, is power. Silence says, I don't need to explain myself. I'm not going to chase you with words. I'm not going to fill every quiet moment with validation. That's rare, and rare gets attention. When you stop talking so much, when you stop always being available with a reply, a compliment, or a long paragraph, she starts to wonder, who is this guy? What is he thinking? Why is he not like the others? And that, my friend, is where attraction starts, not ends. But here's the problem. Most men are terrified of silence. They think silence means failure. They think if they're not constantly proving their worth, she'll forget them. Let me give you a reality check. If she forgets you because you went silent, she never valued you in the first place. You're not supposed to entertain her like a clown. You're supposed to make her curious like a king. And the only way to do that is to learn the discipline of silence, of not reacting, of being okay with not being understood immediately. Because the man who's quiet, who doesn't reveal his every move, becomes unpredictable. And unpredictable men are intoxicating to women. So here's your wake-up call. Stop talking to impress. Start using silence to express value. You don't need to speak for her to feel your presence. You don't need to explain for her to feel your power. Let her wonder. Let her guess. Let her chase the mystery. Because the loudest man rarely wins. But the quietest one is never forgotten. 5. She can't resist. What she can't control. Here's a bitter truth most men don't want to hear. If she can control you, she will never fully want you. And no, we're not talking about being mean or playing games. We're talking about psychological dominance, the kind that silently shifts the power dynamic. Most men give up control without realizing it. They make her the emotional center of their lives. They cancel plans the second she texts. They become predictable, passive, obedient. They let her control the pace, the tone, and the direction of the interaction. And guess what? She gets bored, fast. Because once a woman feels she completely has you, she loses the excitement. There's no mystery, no tension, no thrill. Why chase what's already in a cage? But when you pull back, when you ignore her just enough to make her doubt her control, that's when something wild happens. She starts chasing you, not because she's weak, not because you're manipulating her, but because the feminine mind thrives on emotional stimulation, and emotional stimulation comes from uncertainty. Control removes uncertainty. Ignorance feeds it. So when you stop giving her predictable reactions, when you stop jumping at every message, when you stop explaining yourself, when you walk away instead of arguing, you become harder to read. And hard to read means hard to control. And what's hard to control becomes addicting. She starts investing more. She checks your stories. She posts things aimed at you. She subtly tests your attention because she needs to feel that pull again. That challenge she felt when she didn't know if she had you or not. Let this sink in. Women don't want to own a man. They want to earn him. But if you give yourself up too easily, if you give her emotional control, you rob her of the chase. And the chase is what makes her heart race. So stop being the guy she can manipulate with a pout or a delay in her replies. Become the man who doesn't flinch. The one she can't predict. The one she can't fully control. Because that's the one she won't stop thinking about. 6. Pulling back. Creates obsession. Let's break something down that most guys completely miss. You don't create obsession by giving more. You create it by giving less. Now that might sound cold. It might sound like games. But it's not. It's psychology. You see, when you constantly pour attention into a woman, she doesn't value it. Not because she's ungrateful, but because it's expected. It becomes background noise. But the second you pull back, the second you stop replying so fast, stop texting good morning, Stop always being emotionally available, the dynamic shifts, and it hits her differently. She starts to notice the silence. She feels the space, and most importantly, she starts to miss what she used to take for granted. That's how obsession begins. Because humans obsess over things that are inconsistent, things that give us a taste, then disappear. Things we think we figured out, but didn't. And that's what your pullback creates: mental chaos. Suddenly, she's replaying conversations in her head. Did I say something wrong? Why did he stop being so warm? Is he seeing someone else? She's overanalyzing your silence, searching for patterns and filling in the blanks. And guess what? That means you're living in her head, rent free. The key is subtlety. You're not ghosting her. You're not disappearing forever. You're simply pulling back enough to make her wonder. You're taking away just enough of your energy to make her crave it. And that craving, that need for resolution, it leads to emotional investment. Here's the real issue with most men. They try to force interest. They overcommunicate, overcommit, and overwhelm. And that creates pressure, not desire. But when you become scarce, when you don't try to force anything, you create a vacuum. And that vacuum pulls her in. So if you want to be obsessed over, stop being always available. Stop texting her just to check in. Stop proving your worth with effort she didn't even ask for. Instead, become a man who withdraws his energy with purpose. A man who knows that scarcity builds value. A man who pulls back, not out of weakness, but out of power. Because the less she gets, the more she wants. 7. Attention is her drug, and you control the supply. Let's stop pretending. In today's world, a woman's currency isn't money, it's attention. She thrives off it. She lives in it. She measures her value through it. Likes, comments, DMs, compliments, all day, every day. And guess what? Most men are just another hit of that dopamine. They hand out attention like candy, thinking it'll make her stay. But here's the hard truth. The more you give freely, the less it's worth. You become background noise, just another dude in the crowd, giving her exactly what she expects. And there's no power in that. Now flip the script. When you withhold attention, when you stop liking her pictures, when you stop replying right away, when you stop giving validation she didn't earn, she notices. Why? Because suddenly, the drug is gone. She doesn't feel the same rush. She doesn't get her usual fix. And that is when curiosity kicks in. Why is he different? Why did he stop giving me energy? Did I lose his interest? She starts questioning. She starts chasing. She starts trying to get you to notice her again. Because now, you control the supply. See, when a man learns how to manage his attention like a king, not a desperate beggar, he instantly becomes rare. And rare is powerful. This doesn't mean you never show interest. It means your attention becomes earned. It means you don't give it out just because she's attractive. You give it when she brings value, femininity, or respect into the dynamic. That's when she starts to behave differently. She becomes more feminine, more playful, more cooperative. Because now she wants to be chosen. Let's be real. Attention is the new power, and the man who gives it wisely controls the game. So here's your move. Stop being an emotional faucet that's always running. Start being a luxury, not a utility. Pull back, stay grounded, observe more, speak less. Because when you control your attention, you control her emotions. And when you control her emotions, you control her obsession. 8. Emotion is the weapon, and you must stay cold. Listen closely. Emotion is the battlefield where attraction is won or lost. And if you think showing all your feelings is a strength, you're dead wrong. Most men make the mistake of wearing their hearts on their sleeves. They react instantly. They get angry. They get desperate. They get needy. And women? They see it immediately. Emotion makes you predictable. It makes you weak. It makes you easy to read and easy to control. You want to know what the most powerful men do? They stay cold, not robotic, but calm, not distant, but detached. They don't let every slight or silence rattle them. They don't beg for explanations. They don't chase after validation. Why? Because emotion is a weapon, and if you give it away freely, you lose the fight before it even begins. When you stay cold, you create a contrast. You show her you're not affected by her mood swings, her games, or her hot and cold behavior. That makes you a challenge, something she has to work for. And here's the wake-up call. If you can't control your emotions, she will control you. She will pull your strings like a puppet, and you'll wonder why she lost respect for you. It's time to wake up and take responsibility. You are not a child throwing a tantrum. You are a man commanding respect. So next time she ignores you or tests you or tries to make you jealous, don't react emotionally. Hold your ground. Stay silent. Be the calm in the storm. That silence, that coldness, it drives her crazy. It makes her question her power. It forces her to invest more, emotionally, mentally, physically. Remember, the man who controls his emotions controls the relationship. The man who gives his emotions away freely is not the man she respects. Be cold. Be steady. Be the rock she can't break, but the storm she can't forget. 9. Ignoring triggers. Her competitive instinct. Here's a little secret about women that most men don't realize. Women are naturally competitive, especially when it comes to men. It's wired in their biology and psychology. When they sense a man pulling away or ignoring them, it lights a fire inside. They don't like feeling replaced or overlooked. Ignoring her? That's like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Her competitive instinct kicks in hard. Suddenly she wants to prove she's worth your attention. She wants to show she's better than any other woman. She wants to win back your focus, fast. And this isn't just about ego. It's deeper than that. Women want to feel chosen and desired, but they also want to feel like they earned it. When you ignore her, you're sending a clear message. You're not a sure thing. You have to compete. That sparks a game in her mind. She might start flirting more openly. She might subtly mention other men or hint at her value. She might even act a little distant herself, testing if you'll chase. But here's where most men mess it up. They get insecure, they panic, they double down on attention. That's exactly the wrong move. Instead, you have to stay confident. Don't give in to the urge to overcompensate, because the more you chase, the more she loses respect. Let her competition do the work for you. You're not trying to manipulate her. You're simply letting natural instincts play out. Her desire to win you over intensifies when she feels you're not easily won. So, when you ignore her, even just a little, you're not being cold or cruel. You're activating a primal part of her mind that craves challenge and conquest. And when she's in that state, she's focused on you, obsessing over you, more than ever. That's the power of ignoring. It's not just silence. It's a trigger. Use it wisely. 10. The silent power move that breaks her obsession. If you think ignoring a woman is about just silence, you're missing the point, and the power. Silence without strategy is weakness, but silence with control, that's a power move. Here's what most men don't understand. True power isn't about chasing or reacting. It's about owning your space, your time, and your emotions, and making her wonder where you are without saying a word. This is the silent power move that breaks her obsession wide open. When you stop responding, stop trying to explain, and stop proving your worth, you create a vacuum in her life. And that vacuum? It demands to be filled, often with thoughts of you. But here's the twist. You don't fill it with desperate messages or apologies. You fill it with mystery and self-respect. The silent power move is about being so secure in yourself that you don't need her attention to feel complete. It's about letting her chase you because you've made it clear. You're not waiting. You're not begging. You're living your life on your terms. This forces her to face a simple truth. If she wants you, she has to earn you. And that truth? It drives obsession. Because when a man disappears without explanation, a woman's mind races. She rewinds every conversation, every moment, every smile. She looks for clues. She wonders if she lost something valuable. You. But here's the catch. This silent move isn't permanent. It's a strategic pause, a test, a way to see if she values you enough to come back with real interest, not just casual attention. If she does, you're in control. If she doesn't, you've already won, because you respected yourself enough to walk away. Most men fail this test because they don't understand the silent power move. They panic, they chase, they lose themselves. But you stay silent, you stay strong, you hold your ground. And that silent strength, it's magnetic, it's irresistible, it's the dark psychology that turns ignoring into power. Here's the truth most men won't admit out loud. Ignoring a woman doesn't just make her miss you. It exposes her real feelings and tests her true loyalty. If she's willing to walk away when you pull back, then she was never really yours to begin with. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But it's the reality every man needs to face. Too many guys waste time chasing women who only want attention, not a real connection. Ignoring isn't cruelty, it's a filter. It's the ultimate test of who's genuinely interested and who's just playing games. I want to hear your story. Have you ever tried ignoring a woman and seen her reaction? Did she come back? Did she disappear? Drop a comment below sharing your experience. I read every single one, and I promise to respond to real stories because this isn't just a channel, it's a community. We learn from each other, we grow, and we become men who understand the dark psychology of attraction on a whole new level. So, don't be shy. Tell me your truth. And remember, the power to control your love life starts with the power to control your attention.